Looks like you're like crushing Max.
Oh, come here, Max, you fool.
Okay, we're live.
All right,
We
this
are
is exciting. Do we have any
Excellent
viewers?
connection. We got excellent connection.
Is anybody watching? Hello, is anyone there?
Not
Is anyone
currently.
there?
Not currently, no. Oh, we got one viewer.
All right, it's Presley.
No, I
That's
haven't
press.
tuned on yet. I'm going on now.
Yay, Press! Press is watching. Hi, Press!
Hello.
Alright.
I'm so lucky to hold the cutest dog in the whole world.
Alright, let me know when you're ready and
I'm ready.
we'll get going.
Let's do this. We can do this. Let's do this.
Max. And Max is going to be on the show today.
Yeah.
Alright, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Carlos. It's the coach, Lisan.
Hi.
We're live on YouTube right now for our live show. We got a little better connection this week. We got producer Prez behind the camera. We got Max the dog with us live here on the couch. And we're off and running. Hopefully we have a little better luck this week with
Yeah,
the show.
last week was a disaster. I had a lot of people asking me. They were like, "Hey, what happened to the show? What?" And it just, sometimes things don't work out.
Yeah, we had a lot of technical difficulties last week in terms of, recording and getting the live broadcast going. Because we're trying to, have a live show. We're doing our best. I was out looking for a camera today. I'll probably go back out tomorrow and look for one again. And we're still on the lookout for a technical producer. I posted an ad on Facebook. I didn't get anything back, unfortunately, but if you guys know anyone who's watching the show and would be able to help out, we'd really appreciate it. So please, please, please keep us in mind.
You know what I just thought of right now?
What's that?
Maybe we could use Connecticut Public Access TV, do our show there live. They have the cameras. They have everything.
I don't think they'd let us do this show.
Yes, they would. Remember, I used to bring Tom Shields tapes over there.
You think that they would let us do it?
I think they might. I just thought of it right now.
Really?
They used to have an ad, this was years ago, that says, "Be the star of your own show."
Right.
And you can use all their equipment and everything.
No, I know. I just I'm worried
CPTV and
'cause
Tom
of-
Shields. Remember Tom Shields? He was
Oh,
always
I know
pulling his
Tom.
pants
I know
down.
Tom Shields.
And, we used to talk about politics and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I think maybe we should try CPTV.
Well,
worst
maybe
case
we're gonna have
scenario.
to get in contact with them. I'll have to give them a call. Maybe I'll call them after the show today and
Yeah.
and see what we could do. We could set up, once a week thing where we could film live in studio. That would be great. I mean,
It would be awesome.
we'd have such better quality.
Then
I
we'd
mean,
be on CPTV.
We would.
Oh,
I
gosh.
don't know how many people watch that channel though now.
There actually a lot of people watch it, shockingly
Really?
enough. Yeah.
We need to get so big that we have like our own channel on the Roku things. Those streaming services
I
like
would
the
love
Amazon
that.
Fire Sticks and the Roku and everything. That's what we really need. Cause I just added like 6 more channels to my Roku stick.
Mm.
Because like all these different streaming services are coming out. So there's like Paramount Plus now and which used to be CBS All
Yeah.
Access and now it's Paramount Plus. And Disney Plus, Netflix, Amazon Prime.
My favorite show is on Paramount.
What's that?
I think
Yellowstone.
it's Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Oh yeah.
With Kevin
Yep.
Costner.
Yes,
That.
that's a big show. A lot of
Years
people
ago.
like that show
Well,
right
years
now.
ago, I saw like a commercial, and I was like, Kevin Costner is on TV doing a show. I said, I got to check it out because he was a huge star when I was
Right.
growing up.
Yep.
And I love Yellowstone.
Yeah.
That's such a great show. It's intense, though.
It seems intense. It's funny. I watched an episode and a half, 2 episodes. When I went to visit Lauren's cousins in Long Island, they had it on, I guess, in the background, and they were all talking, so I kind of was just dazed on the show, and it looked really good. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. Like, I gotta go and watch it, but I never did. But now that I have Paramount Plus on the Roku, maybe I'll
Catch
give it a
up.
watch.
It's
I'll give it a watch.
fantastic. The actress who plays his daughter is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And the 2 actors that play his sons are great too.
Mm.
Like, I mean, honestly, they're very well great. Very good actors.
Very, very well done, the show.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have
And
to watch
Kevin
it.
Costner is really talented as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it looked good. Like when I was watching it, like it looked like entertaining. Guys were getting punched in the mouth, and it was It was getting
It's very
intense.
violent.
I was like,
It's
oh,
a
here
very
we go.
violent
You
show.
guys are getting beat. I know. They had a whole scene where there was like a bunch of coyotes that ate this animal, and then it was like,
Listen,
My
people get
goodness.
shot in that show.
oh.
I mean, it's really cowboys. It's like the last cowboys
Right,
in America. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
Oh man! All right, so I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check that show out. There's so many good shows that are coming out on these streaming services. The streaming services really have seemed to taken over the media industry in terms of
Who
shows.
the hell wants to watch
and
network
stuff
TV
like that.
anymore? I don't watch anything besides Young and the Restless and Bold and the
I don't
Beautiful.
watch any cable at all. Like
I
I
don't
turn
either.
the only time I
Yeah.
use Xfinity is for hockey. That's it. Because it's so hard to get hockey live streamed. It's like impossible. I mean, they have like NHL TV now where you can get like the app and watch it through there. It's basically the NHL package, but our Wi-Fi sucks, so it's better to watch it through the cable.
Listen, we have good Wi-Fi. We
Our
have
Wi-Fi's
commercial grade
terrible.
Wi-Fi for work.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Our
It's
Wi-Fi's
hit or
awful.
miss. You know, like if it
It's
starts
awful.
raining, the Wi-Fi's gonna suck. I think that was the problem last week. Like the weather wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. We have great weather today. It's beautiful outside.
Oh, it was
It's
such a
beautiful
nice
outside.
day.
We
It's
have a
supposed to be
beautiful
great
coming
this week.
couple days coming ahead. It's supposed to be almost 70 degrees on Friday here in Brantford. We're in Brantford, Connecticut. For those that are watching,
I'm
far
gonna be
away.
planting pansies.
You're gonna start planting this week.
Yeah, I'm
It's gonna
back.
die by next week, though.
No, it won't because pansies are hardy.
Okay, so they
Like-
can take the cold a little
Yeah,
bit.
they can even take
they
some
can deal
snow.
with it.
Yeah,
Alright.
they could even take a little snow.
I don't
so-
think we're getting any more snow. I think the snow's
Thank
done.
God.
I think
Oh.
we're all
Hopefully.
done with the snow. But we're moving into spring now, so I'm gonna have to start taking Allegra again, so I can survive.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not looking forward to the spring. I hate the spring. It's the worst. I hate it. Everybody's always like, I love the spring. I love the spring. I hate it. It's the
I'm not
worst
a big
time.
fan of the spring.
I like going straight from winter to summer. I like the fall. The fall's nice a little bit. I enjoy the fall, but winter, I needed to just go straight to the hot. Don't do that in between bullshit.
But you don't
I
do
hate
good in
that
the
shit.
beginning of the summer either with the trees, like
No,
the
I do
end of
alright in
June.
the summer. It's more
It's
like
once
April,
we get
May.
to July.
April, May, it's bad.
You get bad in June though too.
I
It's
don't remember
usually.
being that bad in June.
Oh, I remember from when you were a baby.
Well, I have to take the Allegra now. I have like 4 different medicines that I have to take to keep me alive. Oh,
I remember
hate
Dr.
it.
Gardner.
I hate it.
I said, "What do I do? He's so sick all the time." He goes, "Move to the desert."
I know.
I
we
love
should have
him.
moved to Arizona. We'll live in the desert.
Well, Pensacola is close to the beach. It's very close to the beach. A lot of sands. You have palm trees. I bet
That's
you wouldn't
right,
get
that's
sick
right.
with the palm trees.
No, palm trees. I don't have any allergic reaction to. I don't think.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the move.
The Spanish
Florida, we
moss
gotta go
might
right
be a
to
little
Florida.
bit of trouble though.
The
'Cause
Spanish moss.
Yeah, they do have Spanish moss. So
I'm
that's
Spanish.
that's the only time I ever saw your father get sick was
Yeah.
when we went to New Orleans, and the Spanish moss he was so allergic to.
Right. How's Max gonna do with the Spanish moss? He's got no Spanish in him at all. Look at him.
He's gonna do great.
Max.
He
Look at
told me he's gonna do fantastic.
Mr. Max joining us for the show. Mr. Nibs just came in. I don't know if he's on camera. Oh, no, he is. Yeah, I see him in the little outside of the camera right there. So he's in the shot. We got both dogs in the shot. We're getting after it here. Coach, so much to get to.
Yeah.
But as a New Yorker, I feel like we have to talk about the situation going on in New York.
You have to tell me. So for your birthday, I know you went down there with your friends to go celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how was it?
Okay, so... Oh, wait, so they don't really know because we didn't get to tell them in the show. So this past Wednesday, so last Wednesday was my 21st. And then so for the weekend, a bunch of my friends and I, we all went to New York City. And it was a great time. We had an absolute blast. We went out to dinner and we had a couple drinks at the hotel. It was good. We had a good time. But so that was the first time I was in New York City in over a year because, we didn't go
Well,
for
don't
Christmas
forget,
time
we
and-
went to the Irish Wake. We did go to the city.
Yeah,
and
but
remember
that's
we went
Staten
through
Island.
Manhattan in 5 minutes? No, remember we took
didn't
the
go to
Brooklyn
Manhattan.
Battery. Yes, we took the Brooklyn Battery back from Staten Island. And we went through Manhattan and there was no traffic at all. Like we
There
literally
was
made
no
it
traffic
from
at all. Oh.
South Manhattan all the way to what is it, like the Triborough Bridge in like 5-10 minutes. Like there was no
Yeah.
traffic at all.
Well, yeah,
And it
because
was
I
like
think we
5
made,
o'clock,
we
like
made
it
like
was
a
during
wrong
rush
turn.
hour.
I think we ended up having to go downtown. I think we weren't supposed to go downtown, and then we just missed an exit, and then we went downtown.
Well,
But
I
we
wanted
were
to go
able
through Manhattan. I was like,
Right.
let's go through the Brooklyn Battery. Because when we went there, we went like through the BQE into Staten
Yeah.
Island.
Well, there was absolutely no traffic at all.
None.
And there was no traffic yesterday either. I was telling you before, the flow of everything is like there's no traffic at all. You don't even hear. You know how when you go to New York, you always hear like the cars like beeping at each other. Like you hear like 30 horns a second. You heard no horns. Like it was just no beeping. Nobody was yelling at each other. or
Everybody's
anything.
left New York.
Yeah, the city was completely dead.
So many people are
Completely
gone.
dead.
I think the only people who are left are people who were held hostage who can't go.
Yeah.
And then you always have those few diehard people.
Yeah, you could tell there was a couple of diehards that were like they're in it to win it. Like they're 100% New Yorkers. They'll never go anywhere else. You had those people there.
New
That-
York gets
you
into
could
your
tell.
blood.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, like it just gets into your spirit, and you're just like, it's so hard to.
well,
make
Jake's
yourself love
ready.
New York.
Jake's ready to go to New York.
Really?
Yeah, so it's funny. We were like going around the city, and obviously John's from New York too, and he loves New York. And so Jake had a rough time the first day we went. So that's Saturday. He got waffled Friday night, so he was absolutely buckled. And then on the train ride there, he was a rough 2 hours on the train. And the worst part is too the train ride to New York. Our train broke down in Stamford, so we had to change over to another train, and that was a rough.
Did he have to
transfer.
walk the plank?
Yeah, you had to walk. We had to walk.
I
onto
love
another
that. You know,
So-
the MTA, Metro North just has it together.
They
Where,
just-
okay, you're going to walk the plank.
So we had to walk across the plank, and he's like buckled. So he's been throwing up the whole ride in those nasty ass MTA trains, and then he has to walk, and he can hardly walk straight. So we're like holding him up on the plank, like get in there, and pushing him into the train, and he's laying down on the seat. So he had a rough ride there, and then. So we finally get to the city, and he slept the whole day. He never really came out with us. So the next morning, I was up early. I was up at like 9:30, and he was up at 9:30. So he wanted to go out, and he was like, "Well, like, and we were already planning on going to like a breakfast, like with the whole group, but everybody was still sleeping. So I was like, you know what? Let's go get a bagel so that you can know what a real bagel is, because he thinks like Dunkin' Donuts is a real bagel." And I was like, all right, hold on.
I'm so jealous. Why don't you bring home some bagels? Talking about bagels.
Because we didn't go to the type of bagels that you like. It wasn't old
So
school.
anyway, so Jake got a real New York bagel,
Yes.
but your own family, you
had
can't
Dunkin'
bring a
Donuts.
bagel
You
home
had Dunkin'
for, right?
Donuts.
We had an
How
authentic.
dare
Yeah,
you, now that I
Donuts.
think about it. The least you could have done was brought home a few
Well,
bagels.
I wanted to go to Ferraris and bring you guys back goodies, but
Well, yeah, but you couldn't get a Ferraris.
Lauren said no.
Remember, Olivia wanted the black and white.
I know. Well, Glacier's is closed.
I know, Glacier's went out of business.
And I wasn't going to that pussy Carlos's bake shop.
No,
Fuck that
but
guy.
you have
Zaros, right?
Zorro's, yes. Zorro's is right
I
in
didn't,
Grand
even,
Central
I didn't even
too.
think of Zaros.
Because you didn't think of your
didn't
family,
think of
that's
Zorro's.
why. You were just thinking about yourself
No,
and your
that's
drunk
not
friend.
true. That's
That's
not
what
true.
you were thinking about. You weren't thinking about us
That's
at all.
not true.
It is absolutely
No
true.
way.
You weren't like no black and whites, no bagels for
We
you.
were gonna miss-
We're gonna go
if
have a
we
good.
had
Every time I
time-
go into the city, I always bring home treats.
You bring back White Castle.
When
We
I,
didn't go to
no,
White
that's not
Castle.
true. When I took the train, I brought home the black and whites.
I didn't get one black and white. Not one. I can't even remember the last time I had a black and white
That's
from New York.
not true.
No, that's true. I didn't get crap.
Whenever I go in the city, I always bring home.
I didn't get
cookies.
shit. Ever.
You're
Ever.
so full of shit.
I didn't get a thing.
Yeah, you look like you've never gotten a thing.
I didn't get anything.
You look like
That's
you've
not
never
true.
gotten a thing. We've never given you anything. You're right.
No. When we go as a family, I get something.
Whatever.
All right. That looks like I gotta go back.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
come on. Let's take a poll in the audience. Leave a comment. Should Carlos have brought home bagels for his family? Did he make the wrong play by not at least bringing home a bagel for the family? Or should he have made the right play
would you
and
have
brought
been
home
mad,
either
though,
the,
if
either
they-
the
if they were rock
bagel or
hard?
the black and white?
If they were rock hard,
If
you
they're
would've
from
been
the
mad.
same morning, they would have been fine. You got home around what time did you get home? 2, 3 o'clock?
No, we got home at 5 o'clock.
Oh, well, you know what it is? The light. The sun is setting later, so there was still light in the kitchen when you came home.
We got home at like 5:30.
I would have threw those shits right in the freezer. And then we could have like defrosted them.
if you put them in the freezer, I would have had to put them in like my bag too. Like, they would have gotten disgusting.
They would have said more. What? You could hold the shopping bag. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
No, because we had to give the bags to the hotel when we went out, because we had to check out by 11.
Right.
So we had to give our bags
You
to the
could have
hotel
had the
person.
shopping bag separate.
You wanted me to carry the shopping bag?
Yes,
around
all
everywhere?
day long, honey. That's what real New Yorkers do. You just go with your little. Do they
No,
still
you know
have
what they
plastic
do in
bags?
New York? No, they
What
don't.
yeah,
No,
you're right. So
there's-
how do you? How do
There's
you?
no
ca-
plastic bags in New York.
I can't. You know. What do the homeless do? What do people do in New York? The guys with the dogs and the cocky.
Yeah,
What is
no,
everybody
there's-
doing with no
There's
plastic
no
bags?
plastic bags.
Was there
There's
dog
only
poops?
there's only the paper bags.
Oh,
There's only the paper bags.
that's a
now.
horror.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but everybody had a plastic bag in New York.
Yeah,
You had
no,
to
they
pick up the
they got rid
coffee.
of the plastic bags. They have no plastic. I even asked for a plastic bag when we went to the liquor store to get stuff. I asked. I was like, "Oh, can I have a plastic bag to put the stuff in?" And they were like, "Oh no, we can only give you paper." So I was like, "You got to double up the paper because it's gonna fall through."
Yeah, that's bullshit because we used to get the black plastic bags
Right,
at
I
the liquor
remember
store,
the black.
like the
I
real
remember the black. Well, they, you know
strong
where they
ones.
still get black plastic bags at the liquor store is the place in West Haven that Lauren and I used to go to, and
Oh,
They
God,
used to
I
have
really
it.
could use a drink. It's so hard giving up alcohol during Lent. It's awful. Right now, just you can't even talk about the liquor
should
store.
we go grab? I got a Miller in the fridge.
No, I can't drink. I give it up for Jesus, our Lord and Savior. I can't drink until
Hold
St.
on,
Patrick's Day.
let's take a look right here. Hold on,
What?
hold on.
There's no like, oh,
Hold
don't
on.
worry.
Hold
When you
on.
do make the right play, you can drink a Miller Lite.
Hold on.
No, I
The
had.
only
I gave
thing is
up
on
alcohol.
Sundays.
For
I'm
Lent.
dying. I'm dying for some alcohol. I gotta be honest with you.
Make you feel better about it. Hold on, let's see.
What? You're looking up, are there days you can cheat
Yes,
and have
hold on,
alcohol
hold on.
during Lent? Listen,
Well,
I
they
gave
say
it up.
Sundays. Because
Yes,
there's
because
more
it's
than
just
40
Easter.
days in Lent.
Yeah.
So there's like, they don't count the Sundays, but I think that that's BS.
Well, I think that's actually a good way to live because it'll teach you to be disciplined all week, and then on the Sunday is the day.
You
it's
don't
gonna-
even cheat on Sunday though.
No, I don't. I
You
give
don't.
it up for Lent.
You gave it up.
I
for
only
Lent.
do it like for your
You gave it up
birthday
for Lent.
and for St. Patrick's Day, aka Christiane's birthday.
Right.
I always make sure I party, and then do you want to hear some exciting news?
What's that?
I'm gonna become an elk.
Right. So how did your interview go? I was gonna ask,
went
but then April
fantastic.
came in and we had the whole
It went
dinner.
fantastic.
So it went well.
Yeah, I have to say the Elks is a wonderful organization, and they do so much for the community.
Yes.
I was really impressed with all the charity that they do,
Mhm.
and then like the Most Exalted, the guy who's taking over for him was telling me how once a month they feed the homeless.
What's the,
And they don't
hold
even-
on. Backtrack. What's the most,
The Most
exalted?
Exalted, I think that's the head.
So what is that?
I don't know. It's the Most Exalted. I don't know.
The head? These was the
The
Pope
head,
of the
yeah.
Elks?
Yeah,
Or the
hold on.
Archbishop, I guess, of the Elks?
Let me do the Google. You know, they're the second fraternal organization, only second to the Knights of Columbus.
The Knights of Columbus. How about the other day when you tried to compare it to the Knights of Columbus? That was hilarious. You were like, oh, it's just like the Knights of Columbus. No,
It
it's
is.
not. It's not.
It's amazing because they do a lot. Oh, I can't even find the name. But they do a lot for charity, and he said that they give them Delmonico steaks, baked potatoes.
So they
all
give
of
them,
the-
they give them some
Yes,
good shit.
yeah,
it's
it's
not,
not,
like
a
crap.
pasta dinner.
Right.
It's not like here's some pasta and a little
No,
roll
you,
that's
spare,
hard
you
as a
spent no
rock.
expense.
They do a lot for charity. I'm excited. I'm excited about
All
becoming
right,
an elf.
all right. So
An
your
elf, an
your
elf.
initiation is
March
the
24th.
24th. Okay.
And I
so
will have
2
I-
weeks.
Yeah, that's known as
2
birthday
weeks.
too.
Yes, Fran Berryhill.
So I'm definitely gonna have a drink that day and celebrate.
Well, I
life.
think it's required.
Yeah.
It's required to drink. What an organization! How about that?
It is. It's fantastic.
Required
I'm
to drink.
excited.
So you're
I'm
looking forward to that.
I can't
So
wait.
we have an exciting couple of weeks coming up
Yeah.
between St. Patrick's Day
Mm-hmm.
and
My initiation.
your initiation.
March,
Very
I think
exciting.
it's gonna go fast. It feels like it's already going pretty fast. We're already
it
in March
feels like it's
8th.
going pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's going pretty cool. Well, you have an exciting month of April too. You got an exciting couple of months
I
coming
know.
up here.
I'm going to Aruba.
This isn't, we're not dicking around. All right, so we got a exciting couple of months coming up here for the Villa household. It's busy. It's hectic here. We got a lot going on. Speaking of people that have a lot going on,
What?
our boy Cuomo's got a lot going on right now. In his life.
Cuomo? Listen.
Articles of impeachment just brought down about 20 minutes ago.
No way.
20
I didn't
minutes
hear
ago.
that.
Yeah, no, it's just.
Hold on.
Fox.
Let me check the New York Post.
Hold on, look. I'll read you the notification. Yeah, say an hour ago. Resolution to impeach Cuomo introduced amid nursing home
Wow.
and sexual misconduct scandals. Breaking news on. I just got it on Fox. And yesterday, it's funny. Yesterday they spoke to him again, and Cuomo again refuses to resign amid scandals. Slams critics as anti-democratic.
You know, whoever is really running the White House, because we all know Joe Biden ain't really president.
No.
Let's be honest.
Well, Joe Biden's got his hands full right now because a lot of the governors are telling him to go kick rocks.
But you know, Cuomo must be in the separate faction. Like, you know how like you have the Mitch McConnell Republicans, who are
Yes.
a bunch of rhinos. What were they? The Log Cabin Republicans, or the Lincoln Project,
The Lincoln
Project. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you have the Lincoln Project, and you know how like they went after Trump and they go after a lot of Republicans.
Yeah.
So the Democrats always appear to have a united front. Let
Always.
me tell you something. There's some shit going on, and Cuomo is against who's really president of the United States right now. Whoever's running the Biden
So
thing.
he's against them.
He has to be. Well, I heard the 411 that what happened was that they were pissed off at him because during the convention when they all had to send in a tape, Cuomo's tape was so self-promoting.
Oh, just about
How great he is and how great he did handling COVID and just how
Right.
wonderful.
He's a
So
asshole.
let me put it to you this way: they're probably shitting a brick a little bit because I'm sure they're trying to pick the next leaders. Like you know, they have this
They're
whatever.
getting the draft going. They're
Well,
starting to draft their new guys.
Well, yeah, like they want him out, and he got
Right.
so much popularity because of COVID. And I mean, even people in Brantford were like, "Oh my God, Cuomo!" I'm like, these people have no clue.
Vote for Cuomo.
Oh my, no, let's not even. He's such a prick. But everybody was like, "Oh my God, Cuomo!" I was like, "You people don't even know what you're talking about." Oh,
Yeah,
we know we
they don't.
like him. Oh my gosh, Cuomo's just amazing.
They have no
well,
idea
he
what
killed a
they're
bunch of
talking
old
about.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe the sexual harassment charges, though.
Really? So you think the sexual harassment charges are?
I think it's
bullshit?
bullshit because they're trying
On
to get rid of him.
International Women's Day, you're saying that?
I'm saying it as a
How
woman.
dare you?
First
How
of all,
dare
let me
you?
tell you something.
International
There's
Women's
nothing
Day.
wrong.
Today is the day where they go out and they say, fuck men, men are pieces of shit, fuck off, we don't need men. That's what they're
That's
doing
not
right
true.
now. Hold it up, pull it up. Hold on.
Listen, that's
I
not
can
the woman
pull
I
up
represent.
about 4 or
So
5
if it's for
different
all
girls.
women, I'm not saying fuck man, who
That
cares
posted
about
that?
men? Like no, it's just they're trying to celebrate women who have done successful things and have great
Women's
accomplishments.
Day. Women's Day.
You know, like Princess Marcella Borghese. I posted about her.
Oh, did you? Yes.
I
You're a
did.
big Borghese lover.
Well, I have to say, she is somebody that I would like to emulate when I become an older woman. You know, I want to be like an elegant older woman.
Yes.
I want to be like
You
an
want to have
older
some
woman.
class.
Right, like I want to have babbles and
Oh,
I'm gonna
babbles,
be-
yes.
and I'm going to try to get
How
rid
many
of my-
years away are we from that?
all right, I'm going to be 48, so about 3 years.
Yeah.
Right,
Years?
2.5
Oh, so you want
years.
to, yeah.
For my
your
50th
50th.
For mom's
birthday.
50th.
Okay,
alright.
I packed the sticky note.
Good.
50th birthday.
Yeah,
The babble.
the babble.
There's gonna be some party too for your 50th.
I can't wait.
We're gonna have
It's
some.
be so
We're gonna have a
exciting.
wild party for the coach's 50th.
It's going to be exciting. So, you know, I want to be like a classy old broad.
Yes.
So I'm gonna work on, you know, like say things like darling. Come here, darling. Like my grandmother used to speak
Yes.
that way. She was always like so elegant and you know, she would speak like soft.
So you're gonna practice your elegant talk.
Yes, I'm gonna work on
As
it.
you grow, you're gonna start to practice it a little
Yes. Yes, I'm
All
gonna
right.
rehearse it.
bit. All right. I like that. I like that.
Hey, I've come a long way. If you would have heard me as a teenager,
Oh boy.
that was rough.
Oh
Those
boy.
were some rough days. Going up
Yeah?
on the Lower East Side. Yeah.
What were some of the Lower East Side slang? Can you say it on the show?
Word.
Word. That's what you said. You said word.
Everybody said word.
Wow.
Like somebody would say something, you'd be like, word.
You know who still says word all the time?
Who?
That I know is Sean. Sean Hayes says word.
How
Still,
that
to this
thing,
day.
that would be like him saying right on. Like right on
Right
was
on.
a big thing in
Was
the
another one too,
60s.
you said?
No, I'm saying like right on was a big thing in the 60s. So in the 80s, if you're like, right on, that wouldn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Right.
Being in
No,
the
yeah,
middle.
like I'll text him, like, and we'll be talking about something, and then I'll just be like, word. And I'll be like, what? He goes, word. Like,
Well,
alright.
you're not supposed to say it word. It's like word,
Word.
word,
Word.
like word. That's what I
Word.
like that.
Word.
Then you know what's another thing? Fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah,
Nibs
that's
is looking
fresh.
Look at that handsome
Oh my
bastard
God,
over
those
there.
sneakers are fresh.
Yeah, they still say fresh a lot here.
No way.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody
They say fire.
fresh.
Well, yeah, fire is the one that they say a lot.
That's
now.
what Olivia said.
Yeah, so fire's one. Sick.
Yeah.
Looks sick. I don't know. What's another couple of them?
I know
Gosh.
another 60s term was
What's that?
groovy. Groovy.
Mhm.
Like people
Groovy?
would say, oh,
That's
that's
the 60s?
groovy. Yeah, that
So
was from the
Fran,
60s.
that's a Fran move.
Yeah.
Fran
Like
would say
maybe,
that.
I don't remember her saying groovy too much though.
No,
Mm-mm.
that wasn't her speed.
No. But I remember her friends a lot of times would be like, right on.
No, she was ahead of the time. She said fresh.
She didn't say fresh. She might say, you're being fresh, don't make me slap your face. That's true. And she'd be like,
That's
stop
what she would
being
say.
fresh.
All right, there you go.
But not like fresh, like, oh, those sneakers are fresh.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm trying to think. But anyway, so
Nibs
going
used
back to
say that.
Cuomo.
He was into that.
Cuomo's in deep trouble, it looks like.
He is. He's
Because the other
he's in
Democrats
some
are against
trouble.
him.
They're gonna toss him. They're gonna toss him. He's in a bad spot right now.
Pride
And
comes
it's
before
funny because
fall.
I didn't think that they were gonna actually do anything about it. Like I thought he was gonna get away, and he must have pissed off the wrong people. You're probably right. He probably
That's
just
totally
pissed
what
somebody
happened.
off and was like, "That's it. Like you're done."
And when you hear the allegations, they're like nothing. Like, he looked at me.
Yeah.
He
It's like,
Well,
He
that's how it
hugged
is
me
now, though.
was one of
that's
the
problem.
allegations.
That's the problem that I have too. And I
did
say
you
it
see
all
the way
time.
Biden was hugging Hillary that time on the tarmac? Are you
No.
kidding me? Talk about a sexual harasser. That guy never takes his hands off of young girls, even the Hillary. He was
Yeah,
hugging
he loves
on.
young woman.
He's,
Joe
you know,
Biden.
he's
He's
so
a big young woman
disgusting.
guy.
Can you believe that's our president?
Is
He's
he?
so gross. Joe Biden.
Is he alive?
He's such a shell of himself, too.
I haven't
he's
seen
not
his
even the
name
man
on
he
one
used to
article.
be.
No, he's
Is
alive.
he alive?
He does the cameos with
I don't
Wear
see
Your
him
Mask.
anymore. The only time that I saw somebody talking about Joe Biden was he was doing a like a press conference or something, but he's trying to be COVID safe, so he doesn't allow any reporters in the room, and he does it on Zoom, like he's like a pro athlete. Like
Yeah, and I'm
NHL
sure like
style.
they're writing the answers for him.
And then so he gives his statement,
Mhm.
and then he goes, "Now I'm going to open it up to questions," and then the feed cuts off.
they shut it
So
off.
then it's like there's no question. So they were going to ask their questions,
Yeah.
and the questions were like,
do
"Oh,
you
can't
think
do it
that
anymore.
that would ever happen with Trump?
no."
That Trump
'Cause
would go
had
in the
pe-
White House and
Trump
be
had
like,
the
"No,
people
we're
in the
shutting
room.
you off."
Trump
He
brought
was
them
the
in. He
president.
was like, "We're not going to do Zoom. I'm going to speak to you in front of the camera, and you're going to come in."
And he was the president.
Yeah.
Joe
Like,
Biden's
you could
not
tell
the
he was
president.
running the shit.
He went to take questions,
Yeah.
and they shut it off. They were like, "No, you're not going to take question, old man."
Right.
This is disgusting. What's going on in this country?
He's terrible. He can't figure it out, and you could totally tell he's not the leader because you don't even see him. Like he doesn't come on TV. He doesn't release any statements. Like he's a joke. He's a joke. Like you can't even tell if this guy's actually doing anything or not. The only thing that you can tell is changing is that the gas is almost $3 a gallon
I know.
in 2 months.
Let
We're
me-
at $2.79.
I was filling my giant truck for an average of about $45 a fill.
What's
right?
it at now?
Oh, I just filled it the other day. It was over $65.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that's $20. Let's say if I have to fill it once a week, that's $20 extra a week. That's $80 a month.
Yeah.
And then what's going to end up happening is our prices are going to go up because people are going to have to make up the cost of shipping goods.
Prices are going to go really up really fast. Like very soon. Very soon.
It's not going to be a good situation.
Because our export ratio is going to go down again. Like our export ratio was growing because Trump was bringing jobs back to the United States, and we were actually when we have these trade deals, we would actually, now we were actually exporting stuff, and now we're going to stop because Biden's going to do the same thing as Obama, and he's going to move all those jobs
Well, that
overseas,
Keystone
and then
Pipeline
we're
was a
screwed.
disaster. That was a
pipeline
disaster right
was
there.
crap.
You know?
It was crap. And then you go and build the pipeline for the Taliban. So it's like you get rid of our jobs for our people, but then we're going to build the jobs for the terrorists in the Middle East.
Well,
It's unbelievable.
It's just, the hypocrisy is disgusting. You know, like, Trump came on and he was at CPAC, and one of the things that he said that really struck me is he said, you know, here you have all these, a lot of unaccompanied minors, a lot of illegals coming into the country. He goes, guess what? Those kids are going to school in person. He goes, but your kids aren't. And he's 100% right. And finally, the moms in Brantford are starting to lose it.
Yeah, so now we have some Brantford talk.
Yeah.
We have some Brantford talk that we can get into now. Man, maybe we should get on CPTV.
I'm telling you, CPTV.
Maybe we'll fire some heat under Hernandez's ass. We'll start
maybe one of the moms could be a guest.
Yeah, we'll bring a mom on.
Well, it's so funny because in the summer I was really an advocate for opening the schools. So I'm like, this is bullshit. We need to open the schools.
Well,
so many people as if I was this horrible person who didn't want people to be safe. Everybody's fine in East Haven. Everybody's fine in North Brantford.
Right.
Guess what? You know you people are full of shit. Look at the science because it's not like you said, oh my God, all these classes of kids getting sick, all these teachers getting sick. Nothing happened. In the summer, I'm like, this is bullshit. These kids need to go back to school. If the people in Seatown made it, Stop and Shop, Big Y, like everybody's surviving. We could send them to school. So now, here we are, fast forward, it's March, and the kids are still not in school. Why? The CDC, the scientists are saying the kids should be in school. But why is it that our neighboring towns are in school, but Brantford isn't? So now the young moms who are about to lose it want the kids back in school. So now a bunch of moms are starting to fight and say we need to get the kids back into school. And it's all the younger parents. Good for them. I'm so proud of them.
I agree. Good for them is right. I mean, look, kids are going to get COVID. It's going to happen. It's out there. We can't pretend that it's not out there. It's out there. But
we have to learn to live with it.
We have to learn to live with it. Exactly. And we're going to be okay. I had COVID. Everybody in this house had COVID. You know, Will had COVID. You know, my friends have had COVID and we've been fine. The young people are going to be okay. And people need to start accepting that the young people are going to be okay, and you cannot continuously punish the young kids to protect such a minimal group of people. You can't continue to punish the young working class people, the young people that need to get out, need to go to school, need to go to work,
the young
need to go
people
out.
need to learn how to read.
Yes.
Like you can't, if you don't know how to read, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to go back into online school
From
now.
here, what this causes is arrested development. Now you're going to have arrested development because not only when you go to school, you learn how to read, you learn how to write, you learn how to... Now, you're also causing problems with social interaction. When you're supposed to, be learning how to play with friends and interact socially. And, now these kids aren't having that. These kids are stuck to playing video games. What?
You're so negative.
I'm negative?
Why are you being so negative about things not being okay during COVID?
Look.
You're so negative. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. You're so negative.
They can call me negative as much as they want.
I'm so sick of that shit, too. Where anytime anybody talks common sense and says, wow, things are really fucked up right now, you're so negative.
Well, that's just like Trump.
You're so negative.
That's just like Trump, because whenever Trump would tell you what the truth is and what's actually going on, they would say, you're so full of hate. They're
the ones who are full of hate.
You're full of hate. It's like, get the fuck out
of
here
with that shit. There's a fine line between being a negative person, being a positive person, and being a fucking delusional asshole.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You can't have everybody walking around being delusional in Thief land and seeing all these fucked up things going on, seeing these kids getting arrested development, seeing these kids getting social anxiety disorders, seeing, everything's gonna be fine, everything, oh come on, be positive, be positive, be positive. It's like, no, it's okay to say, you know what, this shit sucks. We need to fix the problem. We cannot continue to go down this path. We need to do something about this problem. And don't be so fucking condescending to be like, you know what your problem is? You're just a negative asshole. No, you're a fucking delusional asshole. How about that? You're a delusional asshole. Why don't we start using that word a little more. Delusional.
You know what I find interesting too is that a lot of the people that are so against, going back to school and going back out are actually the old people that have a problem because this interferes with their life.
I know a lot of people who are young who would be fine with us being completely isolated for the rest of our
those
lives.
People are just
There's
assholes.
some real weird people out there. And, my attitude is that before, in the past,
Right.
you had to own it, that you were a weirdo if you didn't want to go out. And, you needed to get
Why
over
can't we just start owning things again?
Oh, we can't own anything.
Those people love, those weirdos that love to dye their hair blue and shit. Think that they're normal now.
Well, but the whole
It's
thing
dude,
is
you're
that you have a group of
bro.
people who are
I'm
very
sorry.
happy. I'm sorry.
You're fucking weird, man.
But Carlos, stop lying. It's not that we're negative people. It's just that you're okay with it and you don't want to admit that you're perfectly fine with being isolated. You're perfectly fine with having an excuse not to get back
Being
out
stuck
there.
in your room
Let me put it to you this way. I've been a parent for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you one thing that I've noticed in all my years.
What have you noticed?
It's the same parents who do everything all the time. You go to football, you go to wrestling, you go to the musicals.
Yeah.
It's the same parents. It's like, oh, hi, here you are again. Then you go to the next season. Oh my gosh, it's the same parents.
Yeah.
Let's say you go to a PTA event. It's the same parents. So those are the high-functioning adults who are kind of keeping the community together all the time.
Right.
And let me put it to this way. There's a lot less of them than they are of the parents who don't do shit.
Right.
Who won't do a fundraiser, who won't help to participate in an event. They just they're not into it. I mean, that's fine.
Not.
If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But the point is, it's not okay that you want to stay living in your house and being afraid, and you're going to make the rest of us be afraid in our houses to the point that it's hurting the kids. And then I can only imagine these poor parents, they're probably losing it. Having a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old who can't just go log on and do things themselves.
No.
They must,
Or an 11-year-old.
I can't, well, at least Olivia can log on and do things herself.
Or an 11-year-old.
But I'm sure, their parents who are mentally losing it. Could you imagine you 3 little boys, when you were
when
7?
we were young, it would have been really tough.
If I would have had you all and I was trying to help you with school, then I'm trying to help Gabriel with school, then I have
7, 4, and 2.
It would have been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have to have compassion for these parents and stop
I have
telling them
tons
that
of
they're
compassion.
being negative.
I
No,
have
I'm
tons
just
of
being
compassion.
sarcastic. But what I'm saying is you can't say you're being negative. No, this is a bad situation, and you can't be delusional and not say, listen, we got to do something about this situation. It cannot go on indefinitely.
It's time to open up.
When is going to be a good time?
We're
if
at
this isn't a
that
good
point
time,
now. It's
when
time
is going to be a good
open up.
time?
Now is the time.
You
Now
know?
is the time.
And these people need to get their asses back in church. Because stop putting your faith in the government and start putting your faith in the Lord.
Well, I will say, you notice that a lot of people only put their faith in the government.
Yeah.
Always. It's
They're waiting
always
for
the
the
government
to
will
figure
come
out
and
all their
help.
problems.
The government will be here. The government can do this. The government can do that. Oh, God, I can't stand the people with the government handouts. I don't want to get into it, but there's this one kid that every time he speaks, it just makes me want to throw him through a wall. He's just so annoying because he just gets all of the government handouts and then waves it in your face. He's like, look at me, look at me.
Well,
I just can't wait for when what is it when the hens have come to roost? What's
the chickens have come home
the
to
chickens
roost.
have come home to roost. I can't
Listen.
wait for that when that fucking happens. Oh,
I used to have friends, right, when we were
punch that kid in the
young,
mouth.
and they would go and let's say they'd get a union job in the city.
Right.
So we would be young, and the private sector people, those of us who were in the private sector jobs, made shit. We would make $20,000 a year. And then I'd have friends, they'd start a union job and they'd get, let's say $65,000 a year, which was a lot of money back
it
at
was
the
a
time.
lot of money, yeah.
And they'd have great benefits and everything was great. Fast forward 20 years later, now they're all pissed. Because they're not making the big bucks. Well, it's you took that job and it was good at the time, but it's not like a private sector job where it's a kind of survival of the fittest type of situation.
Yeah.
And not every, you're going to have the people who work really hard, who bust their ass, and then they start to reap the benefits of their rewards by learning more and more information and having a more marketable, not the same job for the last 20 years. Right, because they're growing.
Because there's growth. When you join one of those union jobs, a lot of the time you stay the same. There's a lot of
and
staying
there's
the same.
a lot of them are so bitter.
Right.
Like then they get really bitter, and then they started with the class warfare. But hey, when we were 20 and they were making so much money, it was great, and they were rich compared to somebody like me.
Right.
But now that we're in our 40s, you know, and then depending, like if you're a cop, at least you can retire,
Yeah.
and then you get your pension and you have a second job and you're still doing okay. But there's certain union jobs like you're in it until you retire.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's just that's always the way that things work. There's always so
Yeah.
much bitterness against the brother.
Yeah, that is how the way things work.
You know,
Mhm.
class warfare, I think, is the biggest problem in this country right now.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, class warfare is what's going on right now. I mean, you have all the liberals running around all the time, eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich. That's like their catchphrase. Is eat
And
the
it's
rich.
the rich people paying for them
Yeah.
to go around saying
So
that.
the rich people are paying for their, the subsidized housing and getting the.
Well,
like it's just
You know, it's so funny because so much of the things that go on are deflection.
right.
You know, like Bill Gates runs around and does all this shit because he's deflecting because the man has like quadrupled his wealth since the 90s. Like he's so freaking rich, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, I don't even think people understand what goes on, like what the bigger picture is. They really don't. Let me ask you this. What do you think of them still having the Capitol closed because they're so worried about QAnon? Do you think they're full of shit, or do you think they're really worried about QAnon?
Who's QAnon?
QAnon?
No, I know. It's just.
Well, but exactly, who is QAnon?
Like who
But
is QAnon?
why is the Capitol
Who is that?
still closed? Why, like, did they not show up to work last week because they heard internet chatter? Nobody showed up.
No, nobody. Yeah.
Nobody
It's-
was there.
It's a joke.
And then the
It's a
people who freaking were running into the
They
thing
probably
was
just
the
wanted. They
Town.
probably just wanted a couple days off.
Carlos, I have to be honest with you. I really wonder what the hell really goes on, because why are the people so scared at Capitol Hill? Are they lying? Are they just coming out lying and saying, let's, you know, use this, like, are they really behind QAnon to, like, fuck with people? Like, what are they doing that they
I
have
don't
all
know.
these National Guard people there doing nothing, essentially?
I think it's like a fear tactic almost, or it's not.
Do you
not as
think
much
that's
as a
what they're
fear
doing?
tactic,
Like
it's more
COVID is
of
going
a-
away and now they're going to
No,
use...
not so much about COVID. It's more of it's kind of like always remember how the Trump supporters are so evil. Like don't forget, because if people start to forget Trump, then they'll start to
They'll
see
start paying attention
how much
to
of a
Joe
piece
Biden.
of shit Biden is and how bad the Democrats are doing. So you always have to make sure that in the back of everybody's mind is remember how evil Trump is and how evil his supporters are and how he's Hitler and how they wanted to overthrow the government and how they stormed the Capitol building and they wanted to take over. Like, always have that we need all this protection here. We need armed soldiers and we need to lock up the Capitol building because Trump is filled with hate and his supporters are gross. Like, I think it's more of that to keep that narrative, to keep that message going, even when, we're in March now, so Trump's been out of office basically 2 months, and, the country has gotten significantly
saying
worse.
it's a
most of it.
deflection.
It is. It's a deflection.
Because they don't want the people to be
It's
focused on what they're
don't-
doing. They
don't
want the
care
people to
what
keep
we're
thinking
doing.
like, look at, how close we came
Yeah.
to losing our democracy entirely when those hillbillies ran into the
Correct.
Capitol.
100%. That's what it is.
Oy.
It's a deflection. It's a complete deflection. But, it's, I
It's
don't...
bullshit. I think people are seeing right through it though.
No.
How
no,
stupid
they're
can you
not.
be if you
They're
really
not.
think
That's
that
the
there's a
problem. The
QAnon?
Democrats
So then
are
they do
not.
believe the
They're
conspiracy
not.
theories.
The liberals...
So the Democrat liberals really do believe the conspiracy then, and do believe that there's this QAnon ready
Yeah,
to overthrow.
the liberals think that calling themselves a squirrel is acceptable. So when you have a group of people that are in this country that have the power to choose the leader of this country, who think you can choose your pronouns if you want to be
It's
what was that
squirrel
fucking
and
wild
squirrel
one?
self, or rock and
rock
rock
self.
self.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
that.
if you really think that that's okay, and you have a whole party that believes that that's okay, we're in trouble. We're in real trouble.
Well, how stupid are we going to get the American people?
We're gonna get really dumb, and then they'll wave. You know what my biggest problem is too is how they're always talking about, oh, the United States isn't the best. We're behind in this. We're behind in that. It's like, well, the only reason we're behind is because the government fucked up the education system so bad. If and this is where it goes back to the whole capitalism communism debate, because I know the Democrats really like communism and they want us to move into that communist lifestyle. It's like, look, capitalism entices competition. Like it makes everything competitive. This is a competitive world. If you want to be the best, you have to push to be the best. And the liberals want to settle, again, just like the union workers. In all honesty, the union workers like to just have their union job and stay the same and be the union job. It's like, all right, well, that's fine. But then you go to the private sector where there's people that start in the mailroom and then want to be a senior partner of a law firm, right? You start in the mailroom, you pay your way through law school, and then you become a partner, and then you work and work and work and work, and then eventually you're a senior partner.
Yeah,
you have your name on the door.
You build.
Like,
it's a career.
Yes.
You're building on a career.
You're building a career.
And let's say, and there are a lot of people where things don't pan out.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of people who work their asses off.
And it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's risk involved.
There is.
And
there
people
is.
have an aversion to risk.
There's
That's
risk,
why the whole
but there's
COVID
reward.
thing.
But there's reward.
Exactly.
And there's no reward with communism because everybody is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is equal. Like there's no success. You can't have success in communism. Everybody's poor together.
Unless
Everybody's
you're the ruling
shit.
class.
Unless you're the ruling class.
Unless you're the ruling
but
class.
that's
really.
only Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer. All those guys would be the ruling class. But
The
here's
nerds
us.
rule the world. Let me tell you, your brother, his dream is to go to one of those schools and to get in with the right people. You'll see, he's a nerd.
I wouldn't
He'll be
even call
ruling the
Nancy
world.
Pelosi a nerd.
Oh, Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure, was a nerd when
You
she
think
was
so?
young.
I think
Absolutely.
she's a fucking
I'm
piece of
sure
shit.
Nancy Pelosi was a nerd and she met the right people and she was working hard, and when everybody was acting like an asshole, there was Nancy. Because you know who was a big nerd too? Hillary
yeah.
Clinton was a big nerd. Let me tell you, these people are the nerds that everybody makes fun of, and then they grow up and they start to rule the world. Seriously. Because they all go to the same schools and they all network with each other.
Unless you're
Just
Trump,
like that
then you're
huge...
grabbing him by the pussy.
Well, Trump, first of all, went to Wharton, not Harvard. I mean, he went
And
to
then you're
Wharton
grabbing him
Business
by the
School because
pussy.
he wanted to make money.
And hanging out.
And he has a lot of integrity. I don't care what anybody says. He says it the way he feels, and he has integrity.
Yeah.
I really.
He owns it. He owns what he says. He's like,
Yeah.
like, I said that. Whether and there's times where I've seen him like doing interviews and stuff where he's like, because I know a lot of people like to give him shit about the Twitter. And I know, like, sometimes he was saying how, like, sometimes he hit the tweet button, he doesn't even think about it, and then, like, Ivanka will call him and be like, oh, you probably shouldn't have said that. And he'll be like, oh, I was fired up in the
Well, you
moment.
know what he told me too.
I
Well,
sent it
not
out.
told me, but in an interview he said, "It's never my tweets. It's always the retweets."
It's always, it's always the retweets.
It's
that
the
get me in
retweets
trouble.
that, let's say I watch a few seconds of it, I go, "This is great," and then all of a sudden at the end, it's not so good.
I know, I do that too though, because like
I
half the
do
time
too.
I don't
people
even
do
watch
that
the
shit.
full video.
Yeah.
I just
Or
like
read the
hear a
full
funny.
article.
I hear a funny bit and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious, and I send it. It's like, oh, it's really not that funny.
You know how many times
I do that all
you
the
read
time.
the full article? That I don't even know if people have good reading comprehension skills, because sometimes I'll read the full article,
Yeah.
and then people will be like, "Well, no, that's not what it means." No, it's not the headline. If you
It's
read
what's in
the
it.
article,
It's what's in it. Read the
like
article.
the headline could be
Right.
total opposite. Like today, I read a really good editorial about a young guy whose wife just had a baby.
Yeah.
And he said something like, hold on, I gotta get the title of it. So if you read
Grab
this,
the title of the
you're
article.
like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable.
Right.
But what he was talking about in the article is how the elitists are against families. Here
Yeah.
it is. He goes, elites see my black baby daughter as nothing more than a carbon emitter. That's the article. Elites
Yeah.
see my black baby daughter as nothing more than a carbon emitter. Now, the thing is that he is a law school student at Yale.
Yeah.
So he knows he's dealing, and he said people don't even say congratulations. Like, they were like, I don't even think it's responsible for you to be having a child right now with the way the world is going and in the environment. And he's saying how the population growth is so slow and that this country really needs to start to develop more pro-family policies. that we're really in a lot of trouble. But I'm sure people probably saw that title and like, you see the racists, how they're against black babies. They're not really reading what the article is about, is how we need to start developing more pro-family policies in this country.
Did you see, speaking of pro-family and everything, did you happen to hear Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey
God.
today?
I read the Reader's Digest version. I was watching, what is the name of the movie? That we saw yesterday with Olivia?
Oh, To All the Boys, Always and Forever, the part 3.
All right, To All the Boys, Always and Forever, part 3. Olivia really wanted to watch that movie.
Lauren watches that.
So, no, I did not watch.
You didn't watch
Lying Meghan Markle.
Well, yeah, you know, apparently the royal family is a bunch of white supremacists, is what she was saying.
Well,
Except for the Queen.
That's what she said, was that they're a bunch of white supremacists.
She said everyone was awful except for the Queen.
Like, that's unbelievable.
Well, she said that they had concerns about the baby's Let me tell you, I come from a Puerto Rican family. That's all everybody talks about when you're in a Puerto Rican family. How white is the baby gonna be?
Oh.
How black do you think the baby's gonna be? Like I had an uncle, Tío Negro, right? Then I had a cousin. See, I am very fair. My dad is Irish German, so I'm very fair.
Yeah, you picked
I have
up,
a cousin who's half Haitian. So who's he? He's like Tío Negro Jr., right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in a Puerto Rican family, you know, we say, oh, you're so white, stay out of the sun, you're too white.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so pale. Then you have the beautiful Olivia. And
Who's got everything perfect.
who has the perfect coffee color skin that is just
newborn.
perfection,
That newborn.
Olivia.
Working
Olivia
out
came
for
out.
that newborn, as
So,
always.
you know, Megan, shut the fuck up. Because, in all honesty, that's how every family is. And especially when you're all mixed up. And I saw they were so happy at that wedding.
Yeah.
They're not a bunch of racists. Give me a fucking break, Megan. You know what her problem is? Is that she doesn't want to be in boring England, opening up button factories, dealing in that dreary society.
You're right.
Her ass wants to be in Beverly Hills,
She
and
wants
she
to go
wants to
back
be
to-
talking to Oprah.
No, she wants to go back to acting.
Yeah.
That's what she wants to do.
And
And I'm sorry. Look, this is the problem that I have. It's like, if you want to be a royal, be a royal.
right.
Like, I'm sorry. Look, it's not that I have any problems with, you know, women in the workforce. Like, that's good. But if you're going to be a royal and you're going to marry a Prince of England, marry the fucking Prince of England and shut your mouth. Like, that's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You can't rewrite the rules. I'm sorry. You're in the royal family now. And I know the women are probably like, you misogynist piece of shit. No, fuck you. I'm sorry. If you've joined the royal family, you are now in the royal family. You signed up to follow the tradition of the royal family that's been around since, you know, forever.
Yeah.
So that's it. You signed up for that. You love Prince Harry. Get the game. This is it. You signed up for it. What's the one that married Prince William? Kate.
I don't know.
Kate something. What's
Kate
her name?
Winslet? No.
No, it's not her. It's
Hold
not
on,
her.
let
What
me
is
do the
it?
Google
God.
again.
No, I got it. Hold on. Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton. She
She's
seems happy.
beautiful. She's nice.
She's very happy. You know, she's got 3 gorgeous kids.
I don't know if she's very happy.
You don't
I
think
love
she's very
Prince
happy?
Louis. He's
Prince
so
Louis?
cute. Oh God,
Guy's a
I
stud.
love
Prince
him.
Louis,
He's
I
so
love him.
adorable. There's George. I think the middle one is Charlotte or Caroline.
Charlotte.
Charlotte,
So,
and then
yeah.
Louis. Oh my gosh, I love. Louis.
He looked so cute at the wedding. Remember the wedding? They had him in there, and he looked really handsome.
I
little
mean,
guy.
listen, that's your job.
That is your job.
That's your job. If you're married
Yeah.
to Prince, you need an heir and a spare. So now they took away the royal kingdom spare. That's what she did. And then I heard Prince Harry said, they left me with nothing. If it wasn't for my mother's inheritance, she knew. Like, I read something like they're living off of Princess Diana's money.
Yeah, in Canada.
No, aren't they in California? They're in Los Angeles.
No, I don't think they're in Los Angeles.
Yes,
'Cause
they
I don't
are.
know, because I
I'll
think...
Google.
Carlos, they're in the Beverly Hills.
They're in Beverly Hills? Are you
Yes,
sure?
that's what I was just saying.
I thought they're still in Canada.
No, they fled to Canada first, and then they were a bunch of illegals, came over the border and hid in Los Angeles.
No way. Well, because I
They're in
remember
Los
they
Angeles.
were talking about coming over, and Trump said that like he wasn't going to treat them any differently. if they were in Los Angeles. Like, he was going to be like,
They're in
Your
Los
funds
Angeles. That's what I was just saying. That she doesn't want to be in dreary London. She wants to be in Los Angeles, and she wants to be hobnobbing with a bunch of A-listers. You
right.
know?
Hold on, I got to look.
They're in California.
Everything's just about this interview.
They bought like a couple of $1 million estate in California. It's beautiful, from what I understand.
Did they?
Yeah.
In Cali?
Yeah, they're in California. And now she's pregnant with another daughter, they said this time.
Yes, it's a girl.
Like, you know what? It's like, Megan, cry me a river. You're such a... Like, you're so lucky. Just shut the fuck up. You married a prince. Oh, my gosh. Did you hear? And I thought of Walsh. Because they said that she was watching The Little Mermaid. And when she saw The Little Mermaid, she goes, and then she falls in love with a prince and loses her voice. Really, Megan?
No, she sold her voice.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
she
They
didn't-
are in California.
She
I
didn't.
told you.
She didn't lose it to get the prince.
Well,
What is
she,
it?
in the interview,
Montecito?
and then Oprah's like,
Montecito, California.
yeah, so, and then Oprah's like, oh, she loses her voice. Like, I'm the Little Mermaid. I fell in love with a prince and just lost myself. Like, if you wanted to go marry a regular guy, you go marry a regular guy. But if you're marrying the prince, isn't he like the Prince of Wales or some shit, right? Like, isn't he the prince? Well, not anymore. He's not the prince of anything.
No, he's
Because
shit
he
now.
he
gave it up.
advocated
He's
everything. He walked away
He's
from the
crap
firm.
now.
She's like, the firm. The
They
firm.
I don't even think they let him back in England. I think he's like banished from the country. They're like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, you
You're
know what
done.
I find funny is that they were still trying to kiss the queen's ass because they know that
Yeah.
if they started dissing the queen,
They could be killed for that.
yeah.
Like, they made like
know
Well, that's
that,
what
and
they
that
said
people
on the
would be
radio.
like, you're an ass.
Like,
You're
they'd
just
be like,
a
you're
90-year-old.
done. How dare you diss the queen? That
Yeah.
queen, that queen's like, she's like the woman version of Putin.
But
Like,
it's
she'll
so
fucking
funny.
kill you.
The firm. It's like, you really think that the Queen of England is not the queen? Come
She's
on.
the queen.
She's the queen.
Look, I mean, you look at her old ass. You could tell she's done some shit.
And she was been working since she's young in World War II.
Yeah.
You should see her history. She's a tough old broad.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
me tell you,
Oh,
my
yeah.
grandmother was the queen of our family, and she was the queen. There was no firm.
Yep.
We had a couple of Sith lords working in there, trying,
Yes, you did.
trying to, spread some
You did.
darkness in the
You did have
family.
the emperor.
However,
And Vader. Look
however,
at Max. He got out of the
she was
shop.
still the
So
queen.
fortunate. Yeah.
So it's so annoying. I was so disgusted with it. So I didn't watch it. I was like, fuck.
I didn't watch it
CBS.
either, but I
I'm
saw
CBS
like Twitter
watching
was
today.
blowing up. Yeah, you've been on edge. I think that's because you haven't had a glass of wine
I think you're right.
or a Cosmos.
You
but
have to
you're
release
trying to
naturally.
exert your anger in different ways. Instead of a drink, it's the F-bomb.
I need like something to unwind and it's
Yeah.
tough not being able to drink at all.
It is tough. I wouldn't know.
Usually I give up like all sweets. I do a whole fast. Like I give up sugar, breads. Like I couldn't do it this year. I was like, I'm so stressed out. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So I'm.
So what are we
sticking
doing
with the alcohol.
for church? I mean, we can't
It's
go to
back.
church, right?
No, it's back to full capacity.
Is it?
That was in Ned Lamont's opening plan. Places.
Right now or in April?
Whenever
Oh,
his
March
plan goes
19th.
into.
March
March
19th.
19th.
Oh.
So before Palm
Places-
Sunday.
Yeah, places
Back to
of
full
worship
capacity.
are back.
Yeah,
to
because
full
I know we opened the
capacity.
clubs and the restaurants and all that stuff, and that's all open, and they could be as open as late as they want and all that stuff. So
That's good news.
yeah,
I'm happy to be. able
I'm
to
just
start
waiting
going.
for the mask mandate. I want that shit.
Yeah,
done.
he said
that
masks
shit
and
gone.
social distancing are
I'm done.
strictly enforced. So
Well, how can you open to full capacity but still social distance?
no idea.
You can't have it both ways, Ned.
Well, it's like the plane where you like social distance before getting on the plane, but
and
then
once you're on the plane, it's every man for himself. Once
We
you
had
get
a
off
tra-
the plane,
oh my
every man for
god.
yourself.
So it's funny. So the train that we had to transfer on when the train broke down, ours was a local, and we had to transfer onto an express, and there were people on it.
Yeah.
So we got on, and there's 8 of us on the train. So we took one of those, the 6-seater and then the 4-seater across. And then there was a woman and a man, like a old married couple. Not old, but like you could tell like 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the seat behind the 6-seater. So like we go in there, trudge and take the 6-seater up, and the lady was like, "Oh no!" and like she like ran back. She like ran back like 4 seats, and we had our masks like.
Oh gosh.
They were chin diapers.
Nose open, chin diaper in it. Because it's funny. I thought they would be a lot more strict. Like the conductor would be checking like masks and nobody gives shit.
He had a chin diaper.
Yeah, he had a chin diaper. He didn't have his mask on at all. Like nobody gives shit except for like the liberal people. So yeah, we were chin diapering it, hanging out, brown bagging, not a big deal. And you know, this lady would get on the train. I'm pushing Jake in there, and she's like, "Oh no, honey, run!" And they ran back, and then they sat separately. So they sat like one in one aisle.
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Look at you, freaks!" I was like, "Look at you!" I was like, "You guys are unbelievable."
Well, you know, one of my friends posted something, and they said that this whole situation has made fear a virtue.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just, it really is a shame what's gone on. Because I think about my grandfather's generation, and they were so tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like bombs would be landing
generation.
on their head, and they would still get up and go to work.
Yep.
It didn't matter. They didn't hide in a shelter indefinitely during the war. Like, it's just unbelievable what's going on.
It is unbelievable. I agree.
And it's still going on. We're
Yeah.
almost at the 1-year anniversary.
We basically are. I mean, we're, what are we, 3 days away, 4 days away now.
Yeah.
It's, today is
The
March the 8th,
Yeah,
so
it's
we're...
the 13th.
Yeah, Friday
Or-
the 13th
yeah.
is when, and then that Monday everything was closed.
Yeah, because I remember they announced,
That was it.
and Mrs. LaMonica was like, "We can continue the show through the weekend."
That was it.
Remember when Olivia threw up at the show for
And
too much
everyone
candy?
like flipped
Oh
out.
God!
They were like, "A little girl
I
threw,"
remember
and then
that, yeah.
we were just like,
Yeah, she
"Oh my
ate
god!"
so
Dad
much
and I
stuff,
were
candy.
so-
Like it was on everyone's story. They were like, "A little girl threw up in the auditorium. We're all gonna get COVID," and I was like,
I think that was
And
the last
vomiting
night.
wasn't even a symptom, too. Like, we looked it up, and vomiting wasn't
No,
even a
but-
Well, she ate too
So-
much candy.
and I was like, "Oh, I wonder who that was." And Cassandra was like, "Is your sister okay?" She was throwing up in the bathroom, and I was like, I was like, Cassandra knows.
That's awful.
Yeah,
That is
so
so
bad.
awful.
That was
I know,
terrible
and then the
that.
text came in the
I
group
felt
chat. It
awful
was
about it.
just too much candy.
Well, yeah, because she called, and I'm like freaking out. Oh,
Yeah, she didn't want me to go to the show.
That was unbelievable.
Just
Can you
never
believe
a
that?
dull moment with you kids. I can never
Yeah.
just relax, not even for a minute.
I know, you get like, you guys go to the show. That shows. Oof. No offense to the ND crowd, but...
It won Best
It's-
Contemporary Musical at the Halo Awards.
Yeah, because nobody else had a show, because everybody
Yeah,
else
you guys
got
are the only
canceled.
show that
I mean, I'm
took
sorry.
the stage.
Bradford
You
High
guys are
School has the
terrible.
best musicals. Like, they're
Terrible.
so good, and then
And then you go
Sorry,
somewhere
ND
else and it
viewers.
just doesn't even...
Your
It doesn't
musicals
even compare.
suck.
doesn't even compare.
Sorry, guys. As an ND alum, I could say it. Because I'm one of the few ND alum that'll actually tell ND that they're sucking. You guys suck.
Well, they got rid of the band.
Yeah, the band is gone. How
Yeah.
about that, huh?
Like,
No
Mr.
band.
Arnold made that band.
he
so
made
Mr.
it
good.
so
Arnold,
good.
I will
And then
avenge you.
Mrs. Evans just came in and single-handedly
unfortunate what
ruined
happened.
it. And
It's
won
really
the-
a
It's
shame.
unfortunate what happened to that school. Now it's a liberal think tank.
Well,
Hate to hear it. You hate to hear it. You hate to hear that the private schools are going down that road. What do you see out there, Nibs? Anything good?
nothing.
Nope. He's a mad old man.
He
Look at
loves
him.
Zach Ottoman, though. He loves
He
the
is an
view.
old man, dog. Look at that face. That's a face of wisdom right there.
It is. It's been
Look
such
at
a
that.
it's been such a wild March. March
It has
just
been
started.
already
and
8
it's
days
just
in,
been
and
so
it's just
wild.
been so busy. We've been
We had a lot to
Go,
talk
go.
about. We dissed the Royals. We dissed
We did.
Cuomo. We dissed Biden.
Biden getting dissed by everybody. I mean, even the Texas governor deploying the National Guard to be like, kiss my ass.
Well,
Well,
You're
because
not letting shit
they're
to this
such
state.
hypocrites. They're
Yeah.
like, you can't go to school. COVID. But let's just let all these illegals in with COVID.
But we're going to allow
Untested,
12 million
like-
12 million illegals to walk right into the
and
country.
then send the
free
kids
of
to
charge.
the
Free
kids
of
who have
charge.
COVID to school, and
Yeah.
then our kids in Branford can't go to school.
It's unbelievable.
It's
It's
just-
such bullshit. So now the Texas state governor deploying the National Guard to the border, and they are
Yeah.
not letting a thing through.
and you have the he opened our southern border, but he made sure to keep the gate up around his palace.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The Ivory Tower in Washington.
So
the
it's
Ivory
like,
Tower.
it doesn't matter what happens to the regular Americans.
No, it doesn't.
Only the
Never
rich
does.
get protected, right? Aren't we supposed to be eating the rich?
Never does. There it is. Producer Prez getting fired up behind the camera
Uh-oh,
today.
Prez
Here
is
we
ready
go.
to go.
Here we go. Producer
Oh, be
Prez is
careful,
getting fired up behind the camera today. But yeah, I mean, between DeSantis telling him to go fuck himself on a phone call, and then you have this governor being basically saying the same thing by deploying the
Yeah, by
National
just
Guard.
getting the National
So,
Guard,
I
being like,
mean,
you're done.
One by one, we're just gonna
Things
tell
are gonna
Biden
get
to
ugly.
fuck off.
I have
Yeah,
a
it is.
feeling
It's
things are
getting
gonna
heated.
get ugly.
It's getting
Because-
heated more and more. More and more. It's getting feistier and feistier.
And let's say, more and more states, if they end up getting
Yeah.
Republican governors just because they don't want to deal with the bullshit going on in Washington, it
Well,
can get really sticky.
yeah.
that has to make sure that they're real Republicans, because you have places like New Hampshire and Vermont where they have Republican governors, but they're Lincoln Project Republicans.
You know what's
Frauds,
so funny?
Frauds. Phil Scott's a fucking fraud, though. I told that guy he was an asshole when I met him.
Really?
Yeah, because we had the Republican Club at Norwich, and Governor Scott came and spoke at one of our meetings.
And you told him you were.
Yeah, I was like, your policies are bullshit. I was like, you wave the Republican flag, but you're clearly a lip.
And what did he say?
And he was like, oh, that's not true. I like the Republican side on certain issues. And I was like, not really. I was like, you say you're a Republican because...
He's a rhino, a Republican in name
I was
only.
like, the only reason you're a Republican is because these hillbillies would flip their shit if you were a lib. So you're a Republican.
Yeah.
I was like, so don't bullshit me. I was like, you're a rhino.
Yeah, Vermont's an interesting place. There
Vermont's
are quite a
dumb.
few hillbillies.
Dumb.
Well, there's like
It's a shithole.
20 people that live
Very
there.
nice ski area though. Very
Yeah,
nice for skiing.
JP.
Beautiful
it's
mountains.
very nice.
But shithole. Don't recommend it. I don't. High in taxes, pain in the ass.
It's nice Columbus Day weekend though.
It
You
is,
go
it's
to your
nice.
college and
It's
the
nice.
falls
It's
are
beautiful.
changing
It's
and-
beautiful. It's just, they don't pave their roads. They don't even have.
They don't.
They don't have even have lights on the roads. So you're in a blizzard every day. It snows and there's no lights on the road, so you're driving in the pitch dark.
There's nothing worse. I remember when we were there in April
Yeah.
and all the snow was melting and those roads were just like mud
Yeah.
and potholes everywhere.
Yeah.
I was so stressed out
It's
driving
terrible.
on those roads.
It's really bad. They don't take care of the state at all, really. But what are you gonna do?
It's a
the
beautiful.
home
They
of
said a
Bernie
lot of
Sanders.
New Yorkers moved to Vermont.
Did they?
Yeah, that's what they
Well, a lot of
said.
New Yorkers are actually moving back here, back to Connecticut.
They should.
But the
Connecticut
businesses
is a
are just
beautiful. Connecticut is
leaving.
such a beautiful place to raise a family.
It is,
This
it's
is where
gorgeous,
every
it's
young
just-
family should come,
Yes.
is to raise your family in Connecticut. Branford's a beautiful town. It's just
Special
fabulous.
20 minutes.
So I would just recommend to any New Yorkers, you want to come,
Oh.
look for a nice house, Branford, Connecticut.
Sell it.
Especially
Sell
the
that shit.
neighborhood with the Ecology
The
Park. is great.
shoreline.
Ecology
yeah.
Park, yeah, very nice.
The shoreline trail.
It's even nicer. Ecology Park is so beautiful that we actually closed the gate to the general public because we didn't want them to see how beautiful it is.
Only the people from the neighborhood can walk
So
up there.
it's closed off to everybody else because it's just so great.
It is. It's millions
Thanks,
of views
Paul.
up there.
Pal.
Oh God, this
Yeah.
was a good show today.
It was. We had a good time. We had a good combo. Excellent connection still right now. I saw it. So the stream is up. It'll be up. So once we end the stream, it'll stay online, and we'll send the link out. And for anybody that watched today, thanks for watching on the live. We didn't get any comments or anything, but we did. We got around 10 viewers, so
That's
it was
exciting.
pretty good. Not they kept jumping in and out, but people at least click the link, which is we ask for that, so that's great. Coach, you got anything else to add before we head out
No,
here?
I think I'm all good. I had a good time doing the show today, and God willing, we make it through another eventful, exciting week.
Yes. All right, everybody. So we'll see you guys next Monday. thanks for tuning in today, and be sure to keep a lookout on our Spotify and on our YouTube page. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great week.